And we're live.
Hi guys, I'm Juliana Paul. I go to Delaware State University.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah Halvey. I come from the illustrious Claflin University.
And my name is Carly Akins, and I attend the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, so today you got a chance to go to Google and to go to Tesla. So what top of mind things would you say you've learned?
Well, we had a few great panelists. One of them was a project manager.
Product
manager. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of great tips from him, mostly referring to his everyday job. He actually also just gave us a run through of how actually product managers go through about ideating all the way through to actually having a product ready to give to either pitch to future customers or in terms of just their whoever is overseeing the company at the moment. So one of those, well, a few of those would be, here are my notes. Justification, which he considers a process where you come up with an idea and then you kind of pitch it to your employees or friends or families and you have them pretty much explain to you what you just explained to them. So you get a better insight as to what exactly you're trying to sell to either future companies, customers, or other people in your company. He also talked about planning, which is basically just the roadmap to a product, showing the blueprint, like the beginner stages up until the actual implementation stage. He talked about the actual development, which is where his job is to work hands-on with engineers in the company and really give them a good insight as to what he wants created and how. And he also talked about things like iteration and launching, which is basically the last final stage where you would sum up what the product is and how exactly it's gonna see the face of future customers, users, like actual people outside of the company, past those parts.
Yep, he also talked about landing, which is something, do you remember what he was talking about so after you launch it and you send it out there, making sure that it lands properly? Like what did you learn from that?
Yeah, that's actually a term that they created from launching. Yep. That I got, well, in a second. And it's basically just not necessarily putting out the product and just forgetting about it. It's like saying, okay, now you got the product out here, and now you want to just how are you working on it? How are you making it better each day? And in a sense, after it's created and it's out in the world, you don't just want to basically leave it on its own, which is what I interpreted when he was explaining this, how he goes about landing products instead of just launching them, which is a new terminology they use in the majority of companies now.
Cool. And how about you?
Okay, so what I learned mostly today came from Cliff Emanuel's presentation this morning talking about life at Google, and our panel at Google today, which was filled with Black Googlers, and they talked about their path to Google. But mostly what Cliff talked about today was Google's mission, which is to organize the world's information and make it universally acceptable. And so he gave us the 5 key themes that work at Google. And theme 1 is that Googlers have meaningful impact, which means their culture is based on a strong connection to the mission that I just said. And theme number 2 is that they work together and not the same, which means that fresh ideas come from anywhere and anyone, which I really relate to, because that's really how you get a real innovative design and product. Theme number 3 being that they are committed to your future and personal growth opportunities keep you learning and growing. Theme number 4 being that they are default open because openness leads to innovation and more access to users. And theme number 5 being fostering diversity and inclusion, because a diverse workplace can increase performance, earnings, innovation, and better products. And after learning about all these themes at Google, they really honestly, I've always wanted to work at Google, and after learning about these themes, it's really just pushing me more towards them because they're really just pushing for a innovative and diverse workplace. So we also had a panel while we were at Google, which talked about their paths to Google and basically what they do. And I gained some just knowledge or some tips from them, which were just how to go to career fairs, you know, making sure to practice your elevator pitch and making sure you're showing the recruiter that you're hungry for this job. Basically, you want this, you're ready for this, and just always make sure you're showing passion to get to an answer.
Yeah, really inspiring. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
What's basically like I got an insight on all of their backgrounds and the places they come from and all the types of experience they had. And it honestly just like she was just stating, really just motivated me to just push harder in my journey through college. And it was just really inspiring.
Great. How about you?
All right. So what really stood out to me was them talking about what we as freshmen can do now to prepare ourselves for future internships or, you know, jobs that we may want to have. One thing they did say was that at Google, they have classes that you can take to further your education for whatever major that you choose. And you still get credits. Like if you go over to their company, the credits can transfer to your current college, wherever you are. Another thing that they are is really, really open when it comes to CEO meetings or being able to just like contact them. Their information is out, and a lot of companies don't have that. That's one thing that Google do have. One thing that they do recommend is for you to get mentors and sponsors. What they did recommend was for you to get a mentor that was 1 to 3 years above your level. Don't get someone like at the very, very top, because if you get someone like, I'm a freshman, so I would probably get a mentor that's either a junior or a senior, because the information is still fresh and they're where I want to be in a couple of years. So they'll be able to give me more insight on what they're doing now and what they're going to be able to do in the future to get where we both want to get. They have programs and internships for tech and non-tech majors. Basically, for sophomores, they have something called Bold Immersion, which is 1 week long, where you go out there. It's fully paid. They pay for everything. You go out there and you basically just go around the company, tour the company. They let you do everything hands-on, so you can learn everything about the company. And then for the juniors, they have something called the Bold Internship, is where you go out there for an entire summer and basically work, all expenses paid, and get paid also right there. So the best thing that we can do as freshmen now that I did learn to start getting where we want to be is working, going to events that particular sponsors or recruiters are going to be near your school, because they come a lot. So the best thing you can do is show up, attend, give them your resume while you're there, ask them for one of their business cards. Just keep in touch, get to know them, make yourself available so they can know who you are, introduce yourself, stay in contact with them, continue to perfect your resume over time. Because when they are looking through resumes, the companies you may want to join, they don't look at it for long. So that's why it's important for you to start early and perfect it as you go on. So when you get ready to submit it, they'll know, and you'll stand out to them. Grades are very, very important. A lot of these big companies, they do look at GPAs, especially tech companies. They look at GPAs, they look at grades, everything you need to know about that. And also, you should really take advantage of your campus career specialists, your career coaches, everybody. They're all there to help you. So any help you can get from them or any information you can get to them, you should go on campus, get to know them, because they're going to be the ones to help you go farther on your career and what you want to do as far as internships.
And so the trip to Tesla was pretty much an opportunity for you to see the impact of an automation on a lot of jobs. And one of the bits of feedback that you got while you were at Handshake was that some of the jobs that exists now will not exist in 20 years. And you can see how automation is going to change that. Does that have any impact on jobs you think you want to pursue right now? Did that change your mind about anything?
I don't really think it changed my mind. I never really was interested in like building cars, anything that's just automated related. But I feel like those of you out there who are, I don't really think it should deter you from wanting to pursue these type of careers, because if you're a qualified student, if you know your stuff, if you're just you have a serious passion for this, I don't feel like having a robot steal your job will ever stop you from doing what you want to do entirely. And that's just because I was there and, I saw them building like all types of big machines, like literally putting the cars together. And, robots can replace humans. That was very clear. Like, you don't even really need to have like majority of what humans would do. You don't really need humans there if they have these big robots doing them. But it just all ties into what your passion is and what you truly want to do and what you see yourself doing in the long run. If it's something you're serious about, if it's something that you know that this is going to be your life, this is how you're going to wake up every day and be like, oh, wow, I'm happy, I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to work on some cars, I'm ready to design or, program some cars, some vehicles, electronic vehicles. You're going to still push towards having yourself, like, in a sense, really just, I don't know how you would describe it, but you would just push yourself to like really just continue doing what you want to do and keeping what you can bring to the table in the company, without allowing a robot or a machine to take your job.
So branching off what you said, even though Tesla, so we went to the factory, we took a tour, and we saw that they use a lot of robotics in creating their cars and everything, but still, with the tech industry, you're still going to need someone to create the robots. You're still going to have someone who needs to fix the mistakes, because even though it's a real small amount of basically, how would you say, imperfection that robot has, you're going to need someone who can check that, and you have to make room for that. So even though we're having more robots do more basically jobs for us, it's still going to be need for humans to work and basically, yeah.
So the way I see it is, as far as, things may not be the same 20 years from now as how they are now. I would still encourage you to continue to go into whatever it is you want to do, because information that you're learning now, in order to get to that point 20 years from now, you're still going to know the same information. Like, in order to progress, like when it comes to like the cars, what they're going to know in 20 years from now, it starts now. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, information that you're learning now, that's going to go on and you're going to progress. Like, you can't get to that point without, starting from here. So I would encourage you to continue your education and, don't let anything like that deter you from going and doing what you want to do.
Yeah, it's all a process.
Right.
And learning what you're learning now is still essential. And it's going to be a progression and advancement in technology, but everything starts from a certain point. Right. And that starting point is still just important as how things advance 5-6 years from now. It's still going to be important to know and significant in some form, shape, or form. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm going to just pan around so everyone can see the house that we're staying in.
We're living lavish.
As we are doing all, Jada, you want to say hello to everyone?
Hey.
What's your elevator pitch, Jada?
Oh, I'm Jada Grant. I'm a freshman computer science major background at the illustrious Oregon State University.
Awesome. And when are you presenting?
In regards to, on Thursday.
On your webinar? On Thursday.
I will be presenting, so stay tuned to Thursday.
That's after IBM and Outcast. Awesome. All right, great. Have a great evening.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.